We are here, and we're extremely pleased that you are. What are you doing here? You are knowing what you are wanting. Focus into greater clarity of what you desire, wanting to move some things along, wanting to understand how it works, because you've been focusing. Feels like things should be moving along, doesn't it? And if they're not, you've got some questions about why not. And we want you to understand that it is a subtle thing. It's a subtle thing sometimes, because it's hard to know it when you are in your physical bodies as you are. But you are vibrational beings. And everything in the universe is vibrational. There's a vibrational current, a vibrational conversation. Everything runs on this current, this river, this stream. Is the communicative basis of the universe. And so you're so good at translating vibration that you don't know you're doing it. What you're hearing, your ears are translating vibration into the sound that you hear. Even what you smell is a vibrational interpretation. What you taste, what you see. Everything about your physical senses, see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it. You are really good at vibrational interpretation. Well, understanding that, we want to help you, if you want to, and it won't happen if you don't want it, to open to a further understanding of the vibrational nature, not only of the universe and of your physical world, but of your physical apparatus. We want you to understand that words aren't what make things happen. It's vibration. And vibration is often misunderstood. In other words, you hear someone shouting, "Don't you know I love you?" And in that moment, love is not in the air. "Don't you know I love you?" It doesn't show, Mom. It's not showing right now because it isn't present right then. What is present is frustration or anger or fear or something that is causing those words to come out in that way. And the universe is responding, better said, the law of attraction, which is the basis of this communication of the universe, is responding to your vibration. While the law of gravity and the law of attraction are not the same, because the law of attraction is based upon your vibratory output and all of that, of all of the universe. But the two are similar in this way. You understand that there is a field of gravity on this planet, which of course is about its relationship to the other planets and its movement, the speed with which it moves. In other words, it's a lot of things that if you had time and Esther had words, we could talk about that don't matter nearly as much. But you understand the field of gravity. If you understand the field of gravity, you understand the field of attraction. It's constant. It's constant. It's always operating. So you don't expect gravity to behave differently for you than somebody next to you. You don't step off a building and expect to go up. You know what this field of gravity is going to do in relationship to you. As long as you are within the atmosphere where the field of gravity is happening. Well, the field of the law of attraction is happening universally, is happening everywhere. And what that law says is that when you offer a vibration, sometimes your words match your vibration, but sometimes they don't. When you offer a vibration, the law of attraction matches your vibration. What comes to you matches your vibration. And so the subtlety of becoming a deliberate creator and being all day, every day, or most days, most of the time, feeling the way you were meant to feel or you meant to feel when you decided to come to earth and be in this body, you said, "I will go and I will explore and I will discover." And you knew, this is the physical you, I am worthy. You knew you weren't here coming to prove anything or to fix anything. You knew you were here to create, to expand, to explore, to become more. And you knew that the others were here same, to also sift through life and come to your important personal preferences. And you knew that once you identified through what you were living, what you were observing, you knew that once you came to some clarity of what you prefer, and by the way, you knew that that preference often would come through a juxtaposition of knowing what you don't want. It's like two ends of a stick. When someone's rude, do you have to have someone explain to you what the absence of rudeness feels like? When they're rude, you know, you want, what is it? Well, how do you explain what it is? There aren't really enough words to explain. You know that when you feel mean, that you don't want to feel that way, but how do you describe the love that you really intend when you feel so mean? You can't find love from mean, not in that moment, but there is a knowing of what the absence of mean feels like, just like there's a knowing what the pinching off of love feels like. In other words, this is how you figure out who you are and what you want, and you're doing a really good job of that, and we call that process step one. Life helps you to discern who you really are and what you really want. More of that love, more of that confidence, more of that vitality, more of that vigor and interest and eagerness and passion for life, more of that. That's who you are and what you want. And when you are observing or living or being something less than that, you don't feel good. And you know why? Because your inner being, we need to talk to you about your inner being. Your inner being, the you that you were, the you before you came and think that you are the you that you are now, that's who your inner being is. Some call that source or soul. We call it your inner being. It's that knowing consciousness that decided upon being in this body at this time. So you came, part of that consciousness, focused into this body. But the larger part of you remains non-physically focused. That non-physical part of you, who is aware of everything you are about, every conversation, every experience, everything that you're about. Your inner being has an opinion, not the best word, because opinion doesn't sound like a happy word, but it is. Your inner being has an opinion about what you're focused on. And when your opinion and your inner being's opinion aren't the same, then you feel negative emotion, which is what you always feel when you're not full on you. In other words, when you feel like you are inadequate, your inner being, who never has felt that and never will feel that, continues to know your magnificence. But when you focus away from that, you feel that you've focused away from that. That's what negative emotion is. When you witness someone around you behaving in ways that upset you, and you feel that discontent with their behavior, it seems like the feeling is about their behavior, but it isn't. That feeling is about you choosing to focus upon a behavior that your inner being is not focused upon. Because your inner being knows that every particle of the universe contains wanted and unwanted. There's the potential to focus to the full wanted or to the full unwanted or something in between. And your inner being always chooses to focus upon desired and whole and love. That's what's real in this universe. That's the law that is real. But you get to choose and you get to focus. And it's important that you do. This contrast is important to you and to all that is. Because when you focus in variety, then you can decide. And when you decide, then you can join your inner being who is focused upon the outcome that you are reaching for. We want to give you a sort of spoiler alert here, in that everything that you want, you or anybody, everything that you want, whether it's a relationship or a pile of money or a condition, a situation, any manifestation, anything that you want, is because you believe you will feel better when you have that. And the reason that you believe that you will feel better when you have that is because you know that feeling that you feel when you are not opposing who you are. You believe that if you have that money that you will feel better. And we're not saying that you won't. But what we are saying is it's not having the money that makes you feel better. It's not thinking that you can't have it. It's the understanding or belief that you are the creator of your own reality, that you get to focus in a way that then the law of attraction will bring to you. You got to put it out the way you want it to come back. In other words, you get what you think about whether you want it or not. Better said, you get how you vibrate whether you mean to do it or not. People argue with us about that sometimes, especially when we are new to them. They say, I cannot possibly be the deliberate creator of my own experience because there are all kinds of things that are happening to me that I do not want, and I would not have done that to me, so someone else must be doing it. And we say, no, you're doing it. You just don't know you're doing it. And that's what we meant when we say it's a little bit subtle. Because you maybe grew up thinking that if you yell loud enough and push hard enough against something, there's a war against cancer and a war against poverty and a war against teenage pregnancy and a war against. They're all getting bigger because this is a universe based upon attraction. It is about inclusion. So when you give your attention to it, even when you shout no, you are including it in your vibration, and the law of attraction brings it to you to the degree that you are including it, to the specificity that you have been choosing as you've been moving through your life experience.